Hi there, I'm Steph and welcome to today's video. So today's video will be our solar panel update for January 2023. I don't know why I had to check the date. So just to give you a bit of background, if you're new here, my name is Steph. My husband and I had solar panels fitted to our house back in April 2022. And at the time, I really struggled to find information as how much we should expect to generate in the West Midlands in Birmingham. So I thought it would be really interesting to do monthly videos to give you an update. And if you are in our area, then it will give you a fairly accurate representation of what 20 to 23 was like. I can't promise it will be the same next year, but at least give you a bit of an idea. So I'm going to start. I'm showing you the bills right now, but I should start with the monthly consumption, generation, and export. So we have 12, our house is south facing, we have 12 solar panels, there's no trees in the way, so we got quite a good exposition, let's say. Here you can see all the different months. So April, obviously, we had the solar panels fitted, so there wasn't much. So I'm looking at export. I should look at electricity generation, which is that one. So April, there wasn't much happening. May was brilliant. June, July, August, amazing. September went down massively, but for us it was still really good, because I could compare. For example, we generated on September 365. We exported 263, but in total our actual consumption was 266. So it was actually, even though it was a lot less than we generated in summer, it was still really good. Also, October, I was really nicely surprised. October was really good. And then November, it went downhill massively. And then December was actually the worst month we've had. January didn't start great, and I will show you the breakdown for the whole month. But it turned out it was okay. We were not too fussed about December because we were away for quite a few days. So you can see our total consumption was actually quite a bit lower than for January. So even though we generated less, we were less fussed because we were not here. So in January, we generated 153 kilowatt hour, which is okay. It brings us back to where we were in November, but already on February, I can tell you the days have definitely, you can feel the days are longer because over the day I have generated quite a lot more. So I'm quite excited to send you the figures for February. So I think the worst months look like it will only be November to Jan, and once we have the battery set up, then I think it will make a big difference. So I'm quite excited about that. So I'm just going to show you the breakdown for the month of January, and I've zoomed in quite a bit on my screen, so I hope it's okay at your end. I thought it would be interesting to tell you because I've never told you that. I always said, sorry, we average between this and that per day. I always think we average between 10 and 15 kilowatt a day. But if I take the whole monthly actual, that's our actual consumption. Our average is actually 10.98. So I've decided to highlight everything above 7.5 because I thought it was a good figure. It just felt right. So out of the whole month of January, the days where we generated more than 7.5 kilowatts were 10 days out of 31. So it's not great. But again, it's January. I mean, you can tell the first week and a half was really gloom. Then we had some cold weather again, but actually, although it was really cold, it's been really sunny in Birmingham, so we've been really lucky. And then we had a bit of a gloom phase again, and then it must have been cold again because the sun came back. So that's actually really good. So on the whole of Jan, we generated 153 kilowatt hour. We exported 91 kilowatt. And we used from the grid 278. And our total consumption was 340, which is obviously going to be different for everybody's different needs and family size and house shape, and if you heat with electricity or if you have gas, it's different. We have a gas heating, so we have a gas heating, and we have, well, the boiler is half I think, so I don't really know, could be boiler, so we will use a bit of both, but mostly gas. So I don't think that really counts, but we do our best to do washing machines in the daytime. I have to be honest, I've been less good with that because the days are short. I'm working from home most of the time, but not always. And sometimes, even if I put a washing machine on and it finishes at 12, by the time I remember I need to go and put the clothes in the dryer, it's a bit later and the sun has gone down, and I'm not always using solar power. So I definitely will get better at that now that the days are longer. I think it becomes easier. So I think winter is always a bit harder for that. And then let's talk about bills. So obviously this is not my actual bill because I've emailed Octopus actually about it. The bill thing has been a bit all over the place. I don't know why my gas and electric bills are not generated at the same time. They used to be monthly, and then all of a sudden it went a bit all over the place. So like I get 1 week, 2 weeks, sometimes 6 weeks. I think I had for the export I had to ask them to look at it, and they're basically looking into it. I don't know if it's my meter that's playing up or if it's all the meters that do that. If you're with Octopus, can you tell me actually? I'd be interested to know if your smart meters are generated monthly invoice or not, because I don't know what would be wrong with my meters. I don't think there's any problem, but I'd be interested to know. So that'd be great if you can leave me a comment, please. So looking at January, so I'm basically using, that's not an actual bill, that's me. I've worked out the formula, so I got it mostly right. I worked out the formula based on the invoice. So I have 31 days. We use 278 from the grid, as you can see here. If we had not used 278 from the grid, if we had not generated electricity, we would have used 340 from the grid. So I really like that comparison because it's what tells me, okay, we've saved that much. So I'm going to show you that as well. So it's 49p12 per kilowatt hour. There's a standing charge of 45p. That's for us. I don't remember the tariff we're on. It's not a special tariff, it's a normal tariff. I can't remember what it's called. It's the cheapest one that you have without, like, it's the same tariff day and night. And then you have the 17p per kilowatt energy price guarantee. So it brings the 49p per kilowatt hour down to 32p per kilowatt. And that doesn't include, I think my husband was asking me that question. It does not include, you know, the government thing where we all got £66 a month discount throughout winter. That does not include that. That's something else. So the £66 on top of that. Well, as far as I know. And it means our total bill for January was 100, well, will have been £108.48. And if we had not generated some electricity, it would have been 129. So we saved about almost £21 on that. And then on January, we also exported 91 kilowatt hour. So that's another £13. So in total on January, we saved £34.56, which if it was like January all year round, thank God it's not, we would save £340 a year, which in itself doesn't sound like a lot considering the investment for the solar panels, but that's something I wanted to address as well. So my installer came around because we received our battery. There's been a bit of a glitch in communication, so we have the battery, it's all fitted, but we can't quite use it yet. So we will be using it hopefully from this month, so I can report on that next month. So we are the 8th as I'm filming. And we're not using it yet, but I'm hoping to be able to use it at least half of Feb. So by the end of Feb, I might be able to show you a bit more of a difference. But so our solar panel system is 12 solar panels. I think it's 4.2 kilowatt hour in total over the 12 panels. I think so. We did that back in April sometime. I get mixed up with the numbers. And we paid about £5,000 at the time. I've talked to my installer. The prices have almost doubled. And I'm sorry because it's not good news. I've been talking about the prices we paid. I knew it went up, but I didn't think it went up that much just for the solar panels. The battery, we paid about, I think it was £4,700, bearing in mind we bought it 6-7 months, no, we bought it back in June last year, so 7 months ago. And the prices have gone up by about 20+%. And I know there is, well, I think it's still in place, a discount from the government, the VAT on labour, I think, but not on parts. So I'm not 100% sure, but double check if you're looking into solar panels. And yeah, it's not making as big a difference as it was made to be sound. That is not a proper English phrase. It's not as big a difference as they made it sound. So that was a bit disappointing because if we're trying to encourage people to have solar panels and now the price is increased and the discount is not as big as you think, it's a bit of a bummer. But hey, so yeah, I still think the solar panel are still really good. But now that we're looking at total investments of 15 grand, yeah, I think you really need to kind of see the numbers to get the motivation and to work out, okay, how many years is it going to take me to get my money back, kind of thing. So if I remember well, the solar panels are guaranteed for 10 years, but I read somewhere that in average they last 20 to 25. So assuming that nothing goes pear-shaped in the meantime, um, you know, it's still a really long-term investment, but I can completely understand that 15 grand on solar panels might seem ridiculous for a lot of people because everything is quite pricey. So I will, oh, hang on, just maybe to give you a bit of motivation, since April, we have saved in total, including, so that's what we saved by using solar energy and what we exported, but not using the battery because obviously it's not working yet. We saved £502, so that's 8 months, no, 10 months, sorry. £802. So if we can save up to £502, if we can save £600 over the year, it would mean that we would get our money back after about 8 years, bearing in mind that we bought solar panels before everything went super expensive. So yeah, I hope that's helpful. I will report on the battery as soon as we can use it. I'm really excited about that. I want to take some photos as well and stuff because there's probably a lot of systems out there, but the ones we have, it's not at all what I expected. I thought it would look completely different. I want to tell you a bit more about where we put it and why we put it there and stuff like that. So I just need to remember that for next month and just give you a bit more information really. So I hope today's video is helpful. If you're thinking about changing supplier, you might want to look into Octopus. Although my meter readings are a bit glitchy, I still really like them. They do some really cool stuff in the winter, like winter workout thing where they, like, you can opt in for some session and encourage people to turn the electricity off for an hour, and then they send an email to report and say, you guys all save that much electricity, like, I don't know, you can run 100,000 kettles or something like that. And I thought that was quite cool, and their customer service is really good. Obviously it's quite busy, so they don't come back to you the following day, but compared to other customer service I've experienced, I think they're really good. And they actually understand what you want, so I think that's always a plus. So if you are thinking about changing supplier, look at the prices for Octopus, and I will put my referral code, and I think you get £50 if you use it, and I get £50, so we both get a little something. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you in March 2023. Bye!